the markets take another dip to restart and refuel this moon boy ship. My dreams may be futile, but this you say, well, my dreams may be futile, the Bitcoin bull keeps charging away. Oh, you see, yeah, my Bitcoin bull keeps charging away.
You're listening to Any Observation, the best NFT, crypto, and gaming podcast ever. With your host, Anders Bjork.
And we are now live. Hopefully everything is working. I just had an issue with the codec. Things like that happens. I'm here with my... Well, I just met you guys a few weeks ago in real life, which feels very nice and very strange because we have been talking online for a long time. How are you guys doing today?
Awesome. Everything good.
Yeah, so I don't know. I think we should start by, okay, so most people that will watch this now and on playback later will know that you guys are from NeftyBlocks and they have probably seen you before. And NeftyBlocks is this awesome NFT platform, I guess we should call it, because it's way more than just a tool suite or a marketplace or a place for collections to drop new NFTs and everything. It's a big thing, and you guys just hosted a big it was for in the WAX community, it was a big event because there was a lot of people coming there and very engaged, but it was for a conference, it was a small and very cozy conference, about the 70 people there. Really nice, really cool. I had a blast there. So let's start there. How did that event go from your opinion?
Well, I think it was absolutely amazing. I mean, we've been working together online for a very long time now. Basically about 2 years, and many of us have never met each other in real life. And we set out to organize an event like this, and it just all came together. And just like you said, it was a relatively small event, but it was a big success in terms of how cozy it felt and how everyone got to meet each other.
Yeah, and how...
Yes, I have to agree with Dietrich. I think it was a very good event, and we really wanted it to be very small. We didn't want it a big event. It was more to get to know everybody in the WAX community. I think that the only thing that I missed is that we didn't have a lot of people from the US, and I fully understand it, of course, but it would be very nice to meet the other part of the community.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, there was a few people from US, and one guy even flew there over the day, which I find crazy.
Yes.
You fly to Europe from the US, and you try to fly home the same day. Pretty crazy.
Yes.
I had a blast because I brought my missus Kim, and we took the car and we drove there, and we took a full week road trip for the entire event, and that was awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, it was really nice. It was a very pleasant trip and very nice to meet everyone. I mean, you talk to people online and it's one thing, but seeing them in person is really nice. And I think that size of an event was great because you really had time to talk to most people, which is nice.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, exactly. It was also a little bit of the intention to make sure that it was not only like sending that you would expect at a conference, but also like the interaction, right? Many of the people who were attending were creators themselves. So we really wanted to try that out and to make sure that everyone was getting the information they were looking for.
Yeah, I mean, I have only positive things. The only negative, I guess, is it should have been longer. A lot of people felt like we wanted to be there more days because we had so many interesting conversations, and it was really nice to have this structured way where people came together and had discussions. So the unconference, there was a few topics, people gather in different places to discuss different topics. but then there was also a lot of small groups that were made naturally outside of that, where people were talking outside or at different tables indoors, and it was very nice to walk around and get to speak to everyone. So that's awesome.
And you know, one of the big things for me was when speaking with everybody face to face, I realized that everybody is struggling with the same kind of things, that we all want the WAX ecosystem to grow, and we see problems, and we all have ideas to improve on that. So I think for me, this event is only the first step. And then we have to move forward and keep on working on these solutions and trying to make proposals to improve on the ecosystem.
Yeah. So how can we do that?
Well, I guess we'll have to organize the next event.
So yeah, and Butcha is saying maybe in Rome next time. Is that do you have a plan of where? Is it Amsterdam again or another place?
Well, there are no concrete plans yet, but I think that Rome could be an amazing destination indeed.
Yeah, it would be cool. So for the WAX community, the next week, that's crazy. We have NFT London, we have the Atomic Hub event, which is the next big event. So Diederik has some issues with internet, and one might have some issues with internet today, so they might pop in and out a little bit if they have some issues. But so the Atomic Hub event will be the next big event for the WAX community. Will anyone from your team go there?
Yeah, initially we planned to go. We wanted to be there, but Jose just became a father and he doesn't want to travel right now. Diederik, I don't know why Diederik didn't plan to attend in the end. And for me, I have as we got accepted in the IBM Accelerator, I have 2 workshops for the IBM Accelerator, one the 2nd and one the 4th of November, so I won't be able to make it. And I really wanted to make it because I think that was like the natural step to continue the conversation and go and meet some other people that we haven't met yet.
Yeah.
But I really think that it's amazing that Atomic is organizing this and that will happen. And it's also very nice to see that it's a satellite event from the NFT London, because that will also help WAX get more exposure.
Yes, exactly. And if there's one common goal that we all have, it's to get more people being aware of the WAX space, more people being aware of NFTs on WAX. And so that's great. So to have that.
We have a few things that we need to touch today, and I don't have any big plan of how to do it. We have a lot of topics that we can discuss, and hopefully we go through them all with our discussions. But one thing you just name drop is the IBM Accelerator that you just announced that you have joined. And what is that, and what does that mean for NeftyBlocks and the community?
Well, yeah, it's the name of the accelerator is IBM HyperProtect Accelerator. And it's basically focused on HyperProtect, which is a product from IBM that is targeted or dedicated to encryption and making sure that data privacy is maintained very well and it's very secure. So we got accepted there because we plan to use all of their encryption and security mechanisms to do a lot of things with oracles, with things that happen off-chain and that we want to store then on-chain, and vice versa. So it makes a lot of sense for us building around that technology. And it's very cool because we are surrounded by, I think right now, the cohort where we started, these 45 startups that are going through this process, and they will mentor us and they'll prepare us to not only to go to investors and try to raise funds to grow faster and bigger, but what I really value is the fact that they are teaching us how to evaluate where we are as a company, what we have to improve, where are our weaknesses, our strengths, and that is really helping us to move forward as a company. So we are very excited about that.
Yeah, that's very nice. And that will naturally give you a lot of contacts and as well, where you have these groups of a lot of startups that all are in the same position, perhaps different fields, because it's not only blockchain stuff, right?
No, it's completely different. But you know what? It's amazing because yesterday I had my first workshop, and I was with in a small group with other 3 people. 2 of them from healthcare and 1 from the financial sector. I was the only one from blockchain in that group. But already yesterday, I was sharing with them, and we're struggling with this. Oh, I know someone. And immediately today, I already scheduled a meeting for next week with this company who might help us with something. So it's really amazing. You start getting a lot of value immediately.
Yeah, that's very nice. And that's one thing I also like about meetups and small groups like that. I guess that's kind of like a mastermind group where a lot of different people that have are in same situation with different expertise meet together and discuss things. And there is a nice meetup group in Sweden, which I try to attend their meetups. They have been organizing them a few times per year in Stockholm, and I try to go there. And I always like, there's people. I think I'm the only one that is into the WAX ecosystem. But there are a lot of developers, there are project owners, there are companies in Sweden working with blockchain or tech, or people want to learn more. A big mix, and that's also, those events are also like 50 to 100 people. So you actually go there and you have time to talk to people, and if you have an opinion when there is a talk or a conversation, you can raise it, and it's easy to take part, and that is so valuable, and also get all the connections there and input from people.
Yes, absolutely.
Is it like a blockchain centered group?
Yeah, it's I should know I really know the name. Yeah, it is okay. I forgot the name now. It is Decentra something, but whatever. It's a big group. I think they are a few hundred, 1,000 people in total, and they started out as mainly being developers, so very focused on coding and developing blockchain solutions. A lot of them are building on Ethereum and Solana and a few other blockchains as well. So it's very interesting concept where usually there is a talk that is like 10 minutes perhaps with some big news stories from the past, and then if someone has more information, they fill in, hey, I know this part that you didn't tell, and because there's always someone in the audience that know more about the topic that has happened than those that are talking. So they and then they have someone from the field from Sweden that is having a talk for 20-30 minutes on a topic which they are an expert on. Last time it was DAOs and legalities on DAOs, so there was a lawyer there talking about the legal aspects of being in a DAO, running in a DAO, being a member of DAO, which is very relevant for me because I'm running for the Alien World councils, and I'm gonna go into that DAOs.
Cool.
Very scary because you're liable for a ton of things if you are a member of a DAO, and that's pretty scary, so one should know that. The time before was one of the Swedish crypto exchanges was there and had a talk about how they work with law enforcement to find stolen funds and scammers, which was also very interesting because that's his day job. He works with everyone, and it was very nice to hear all of the work they do. So that's awesome. It's a very nice community.
Nice, interesting.
Yeah, so there's another one in November. So next week I'm going to London for the Atomic Hub NFT London, and then there's the event there, and then I go to DreamHack. So that's nice. But enough of that. So that was the IBM Accelerator, big group that will help NeftyBlocks and by extension help everyone else that use NeftyBlocks as well, because hopefully that will make NeftyBlocks into a stronger company and product.
Yes, absolutely.
So I don't think we should tackle the big clickbait title yet. I think we should push for that a little bit. But do you have some other news? Which one should we start with, Didrik?
Let's go with the release that we have done today, which is the redeemable NFTs.
Yep. What is that?
So basically, what we are now offering is the possibility to add redeemable NFTs to collections of creators, to your collection. And what this does is that you can have an NFT and you can redeem it on NeftyBlocks, and then you will get it will reveal a code when you redeem it, and this code can be used anywhere on any external platform that has been configured behind the code. So, for instance, we are using it for the NeftyQuest NFTs, which means that the merge NFTs that you got in the first season of the NeftyQuest, which is an activity that we had before, you can now redeem the NFT to get a code, which gives you the right to get merch from the NeftyBlocks Shopify store. So basically, we are trying to bridge the gap between NFTs and the physical world.
So,
Yes,
and it doesn't have to be physical, right?
No, indeed. That's what I was going to tell, because you already experienced it with attending to the Unconference. The entrance to the Unconference was a redeemable NFT that you burned to get a code, and then went to Eventbrite to claim your ticket to the Unconference.
Yeah.
So that's a little bit the idea. And even if we are releasing it right now, I have to say that it's still a little bit raw. It's still a little bit experimental. Of course, it works, but I think it is only version 1, and we will keep on iterating until we find a better way to make the experience smoother for users. But I think that the best way to achieve that is just by opening it and start getting feedback from people who's using it.
So, okay, let's say I have take Shopify, for example, a web shop where I have some merch, and I have some NFT that if you buy my NFT, you have that, but you can also redeem it for the physical merch from my store. How would that process work for me as a creator?
Okay, the way it works right now, it's that you come to NeftyBlocks and you say, guys, I want to start working with this, and then we will set up a project for you. And well, it depends on where you are with your shop. If your shop is already set up and you already have something to generate codes and everything, we will just ask you, okay, give us the codes that you want to redeem, and someone from support at NeftyBlocks will configure it for you, and it becomes enabled. And in the NeftyBlocks website, there is a section for redeemables, so you can see which redeemable NFTs you own, and you can also see which ones you have already redeemed in the past.
And for a creator, so I have my Shopify store, I have these redeemable codes for people to use, I give them to you, and the next step, is that a lot of manual work for me, or is it automated, or how does it work?
For you, it's basically nothing. You only have to link the codes to the product that you want to be redeemable. Right now, the workload is on our side. And we haven't fully automated because we want to fine-tune it with more creators before we automate everything.
Yeah, so you learn what you actually need and not what you think you needed before you set out.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. So if I want to partake in this, what's the cost for this for me as a creator?
Yeah, it's something that we discuss with every collection on a case-by-case basis, because if you tell me that you want to set up a shop with 10 redeemable items, the price will be very different as if we have to configure for you 10,000 items that you want to have in your shop. So we decided to make it more on a case-by-case basis.
Yeah.
But and there's also something we didn't forget about the small creators who might not even have a shop. And for them, we also have the possibility to configure some items for them and include those in the NeftyBlocks shop, so that they still have the possibility to use this. And in that case, instead of charging them for a setup fee or whatever, we will discuss with them a revenue share in the merch that is sold.
So it will be their merch will be on your store, available through these NFTs, pretty much.
Through these, exactly.
Yeah, so that's cool. And Include Null in the chat says that using codes can set up an avenue for scammers. I am unsure exactly which aspect he intend, if that is for someone that is guessing the codes or something like that. Have you thought about how to prevent this in your setup, like how to minimize any malicious activity for these redeemables?
Well, the good thing about all of this is that it works with the standard codes in the e-commerce platform. So I think they have a lot of experience taking care of that, and we are relying on all of their security mechanisms for the code redemption. And something that that we want to change, but it's built like that now. It's the fact that you have to burn the NFT in order to redeem it. At some point, we thought, no, it's nice if you keep the NFT as a proof that you own the physical item. But the challenge was that if we did it like that, we were sure that a lot of people would go to the secondary market and try to sell an NFT that has already been redeemed.
Yeah.
So for this initial version, we said, okay, let's just burn it, and afterwards we will come up with something, maybe a certificate, receive back a certificate or something. And that also introduces the challenge of how are we going to track the sales history of that NFT, because you might not not only the NFT, but the physical item. If it's a t-shirt, I guess you will not be selling it to somebody else, especially after you used it. But if it's I don't know, if it was a car or whatever else, then that is something that you might resell at some point, and you need some tracking there. So those are things that we will tackle in the future.
Yeah, one simple way to do it would be, if I have 100 redeemables, I have 100 NFTs, and then I make 100 second NFTs. So when I burn one here, I get the redeemed NFT. That enables me to have a different template for it, so it doesn't go to the same markets and everything. And then I still have my NFT, but it's not redeemable anymore, and it will not be automatically schemed as a redeemable. But I still have an NFT, and I get my physical, and that will be my receipt for doing this.
That could be a good option for that, indeed.
Yeah, because what include nulls actually meant is like, okay, I go to you, I say, hey, I have this shop, I want to do these redeemables, but in reality, I never order any of these merch in the background. I just tell you that I have these codes, they are fake codes. I list my NFTs, and everything looks legit. Perhaps I even have a fake website where you go, but in the back end, nothing ever gets ordered. So you never get any merch. Is there a process for that, or how would you verify the collections?
Yeah, there, I think that you touched a very good point. And the first thing is that we will require anyone who's doing this to go to be verified by NeftyBlocks, which is only an identity verification. But we should know with whom we are doing this. And even if that's not really a bulletproof approach, at least we will know who to reach out to if there's a problem.
Yeah.
But yes, indeed, that's a big risk. Yeah.
But that's the risk for any small shop on the internet, so it's not just on this case.
Yeah, true. It's that's always a risk, I guess. But it's good to hear those concerns, because we have to think of ways to prevent that.
Yeah, at least minimize it, because I don't think you are able to prevent it, but you can at least reduce the risk as much as possible.
Exactly, and I think that initially we will try to work on these kind of things with people we know. For example, if you ask us, "Hey guys, I want to do that for my physical stuff, for my merch," we already know you, and we know that you have a reputation that you have to maintain, and you're not going to scam people, or at least that's what we hope for. So yeah, but yeah, it's true that once we want to scale this, it becomes very complex.
He says that his concern is not about the collections but users, and he's saying that you can't safely trade a code for other assets like you can NFT for NFT or an NFT for token. Someone has to go first. But in this case, the code is when you want to redeem it. you have your
Yes.
NFT, you trade your NFT, you can buy and sell it, and then you say, hey, I now want to redeem it. Then you redeem this and you get the code, you go to the shop and you get your asset.
Yes.
So I created a physical item backed by an NFT before, and my problem with that is that I had to keep that in storage for as long as that NFT is redeemable, so people can redeem it, or it doesn't make any sense to have it. What's your take on that, or do you have a plan for that? Or
Well, at the moment, the way we are handling it is with things that are, like the tickets for the unconference, which were not tangible. You don't have that problem. And in the shop at the moment, everything is printed on demand, so we don't really have that problem. But we are already thinking about this situation that you mentioned, and there, you will have to store the item. But what we want to do for that kind of things is like an escrow contract, so that you as a creator can say, for example, okay, I have this NFT, I have here the original painting to say something, and I will send it to the person who redeems the NFT. And there we plan to have an escrow contract that allows you to say, okay, you will only be paid when the person says that he has redeemed the NFT, or an expiration period the redemption period expires, or something like that.
yeah. Well, there's a lot of things that's worth thinking of, and I'm surely the tool will grow into this, as you said.
Yeah.
It's the first version, testing things, learning, adapting, and everything. And it would be very cool to remove that code from the user, and it's all automated in the background. So you burn the NFT, and then you have everything shipped directly. So you actually, that is possible, but it would be require a lot of different work, and you need to work with different tools, and they need to accept that, and there's a bunch of things.
Yes, to be honest, when we thought of the idea, we said, okay, this is very cool, but it's very easy. When we tried it in real life, we said, okay, there are some problems here, and we also said, okay, with this we can solve like this we can solve like this, but we want to learn a little bit more about how people are going to use this before start building, because many times it happens that we start building and we realize that that's not the correct solution later. So we don't want to make the same mistake again.
Yeah, it's hard because you have an idea and then you launch it, and it's not really how the users intended to use it. So that's always an interesting take on what's happening. So that's the redeemable, and that is live now. So if anyone wanna partake in that, they reach out to your support and they can start that process.
Yes, exactly. They reach out to support, then we will create a channel for them if they don't have one in our Discord, and then we can discuss and start figuring out exactly what they need.
Yeah, and so there's also a revamp of collections, right? What exactly is done there, Diederik?
Yeah, so basically we are working on a redesign of the collection pages to make it more in line with the design of the overall site.
Is that the collection pages for me as a creator or for you as a user?
You could argue both. It's basically the entry point for many collectors on NeftyBlocks. The collection page is the entry point we are seeing in the data. And it's also the way that you as a collection owner brand yourself to collectors. So it is both. And we are really aiming to get this right, because it is used so much. It looks quite different. I've sent you an example of Alpaca Worlds, actually, of our own. And what it does is it allows you to quickly navigate to drops, blends, your packs, and all the things that you're already used to on the current design, you would say.
Where did you send it?
I sent it to you on the Discord.
I will find it.
Direct messages.
I find it now.
Shall I send?
Don't worry, I will open it so you can continue. I
Perfect.
found it. Yeah.
And Yeah, basically to make the flow easier and more straightforward, and also to allow for customization of the page.
So the front page now looks like the front page of NeftyBlocks pretty much, instead of the old page. Let me find that again. I just had it up so I can go and find it. So you can customize it, and exactly what's the difference? So before you had a banner, then you had some details, and then you had your drops, and then in the top you could choose from market and NFTs and packs and things like that, your inventory from that collection. And so how will this be different from a user? I see it now. I land there on the page. I have some information, logo. There is purple colors. Is that also something? Can you change all the colors, or what's customizable for a collection?
That's right. The things that you mentioned are customizable. So the color of the text, the image that you see on the right side. So basically what you are highlighting. And you can do that if you log in with an authorized wallet to the collection that you want to edit. So in your case, that would be your own collection.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I guess the biggest difference is something that that maybe many people won't realize, and it's that. Okay, let me go back to the full flow. How somebody goes to NeftyBlocks? They go and they land on the NeftyBlocks homepage, and you want to find a collection, or on the marketplace, and you want to find a collection. What do? You go to the search box that you have on top.
Yeah.
You type the collection name, click there, and get redirected to the collection page. What was happening is that the collection page there had the old version of the marketplace, the one we released long time ago.
Yeah.
And we realized recently that more than half of NeftyBlocks users were using the old version of the marketplace, because that's the flow they followed. I think the biggest change that you will see now is that instead of having the old marketplace, you will be using the new version. Well, new, it's already released a few months ago, but the latest version of the marketplace, and not the old version of the marketplace.
Yeah. So it's more streamlined for the user, and instead of being in different views.
Yes, and it should give you a consistent experience, because what we had is that it was two different tools and two different experience for the buyer. So it didn't make sense, and that's why we decided to speed up this and change how users interact with the collection page.
Yeah. That makes sense, and I'm looking forward to go and explore that with my collection and see what I can set up and explore, because then it will be more of a real landing page for a collection. I feel more than just a sales page. You can add more information.
Exactly, and that's also kind of to be the point, right? So you have your own landing page, your own home in NeftyBlocks itself, and if you really want to go crazy, you can always decide to embed the marketplace or drops that we have also released in your own website. But we want to give you at least a template and the possibilities to host your drops and your own landing page on NeftyBlocks.
Because that embed, I don't think we have talked live since you released that, actually. I don't think we did. I think we talked before that or so. But your embed feature is really nice. And I know a lot of collections are very happy. Can you just quickly go through what it is?
Yeah, basically what the embeds are web components that anybody can embed on their websites, and it's very simple. It's a couple of lines of code that you don't really have to be a developer to embed them, and you can embed two different things at the moment. The drops, you can embed one or multiple drops in your website, or a full marketplace dedicated to your collection only. And both are fully customizable via CSS, so you can make them look exactly the way that you want, and that are themed completely to the look and feel of your collection.
Yeah, that's good. And okay, so for me, if I have a collection, I'm not a web developer. I have my WordPress site or something. Can I use your embedded marketplace then?
Yes, you can use it. You just have to embed a tiny HTML. We wanted to make a WordPress shortcode, but we haven't had the time yet to do something like that. But maybe that would be a nice next step to help creators.
Yeah, and that gives me marketplace, but that marketplace is actually not hosted on that website. So it actually goes to your tools. So you actually log in and you buy on NeftyBlocks, but it is on that collection website instead through that embedded marketplace.
Yes, indeed. So you don't really have to worry about hardware, about maintaining it, and about anything. It's only something that you can use, and that's it.
And that's also cool because then that I think that in most jurisdictions that the collection owner is actually not running any marketplace and not selling anything through that marketplace, but instead is linking, and you are the ones that is doing that sale, which is very nice.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, exactly. That's one of the advantages as well. One of the other strong points is that what we have seen, for example, with Zombie Outbreak Survival, that you can also track specifically for each NFT any statistic that is being tracked in smart contracts. So what they have done, which they have added health to the attributes of the NFTs that are shown in their embed, which is a very cool thing as well. Basically, it's very suitable to have as an in-game marketplace.
Yeah, because you can customize the codes, you can adapt the view for whatever use case you have. So that's that's very nice. So yeah, I think that's awesome, and I think we can move on to the bridge. So the NFT bridge is something that you mentioned on the Unconference event that is coming, and that is for, well, what is the NFT bridge?
Oh, yeah, maybe Dietrich can get started, unless he's frozen.
No, for sure. I'm still here. It's, my internet isn't too good, but the NFT bridge. So basically what we thought, okay, we have this NFT space on WAX, and we want to expand, right? We want not only more people to know about WAX, but also more people to use WAX, but also people from WAX trying out NFTs on other blockchains, such as the biggest one at the moment, Ethereum. So what we set out is we build a two-way bridge that allows you to basically go from WAX to Ethereum, and bridge the NFTs over to Ethereum, and basically let them do what they want there, trade them on any platform such as OpenSea, and then if you want to, bridge them back. That's the essence of it.
So
yeah, basically. Yep. Okay.
Yeah. So for a collection owner, or for a user, I wanna bridge some NFT. Do the collection owner on WAX need to sign up for this, approve that their NFTs can be bridged over, or is that something that any NFT can do?
Yeah, it's a little bit more complex than that, because when you bridge your NFT has to land on a collection on Ethereum, or I will expand here, because the bridge is not only working for Ethereum, the bridge works for Ethereum, for Polygon, for BSC, for any EVM that you might want. We can configure it. This morning we deployed on Polygon, and it worked perfectly, flawlessly, and we have it there working, which is, by the way, another case of what we want to do with IBM, because there's an API in the middle that takes care of knowing when, because the way that this bridge works is that you take the NFT in custody on the WAX side, and once we have in custody, the API checks, okay, it's already there, and then says, okay, then you're allowed to, whether it is minted if it's the first time you breach it, or release it from the custody on the other side if it already existed. But going back to your question, what happens is that we need a collection contract on the landing side. So whether it is BSC, Ethereum, Polygon, whatever, you will need a collection there. And that is something we have to create with you. In the end, that collection is a contract for a standard ERC 721 NFT. with a couple of additional methods that allow us to make it bridgeable.
Yeah, because that was one of my follow-up questions, because we have these collection fees where a collection earn on the second-hand market sales. So how would that be possible? But that requires the collection owner to, in collaboration with you, I guess you can help them to set up these collections on the other blockchains where they want it to be bridged.
Yes, that's exactly the point. What we do is that we have a kind of a collection contract generator set up, and we can create and deploy that contract for them. And then the fees from secondary market on Ethereum, Polygon, or wherever will be for the creator and not for us.
And how much, if a user want to join this, a project, a small creator want to join this and say, hey, this enables me to move to more platforms, and I can incorporate other blockchains and communities with my project without having to release a different type of NFT on that platform, but I can actually have the same ones there as I have on WAX and things like that. How much would it cost for me to sign up for this, and how does that work? And is it a one-time fee or a ongoing fee?
Yeah, that's a very good question, and it has several parts. Again, if you are let's say a big collection, a regularly sized collection, there will be a one-time setup fee of $1,000 to create your contract on Ethereum and set up everything that you need. And then you can start bridging. There is a cost for bridging, which is 500 Nefty. Every time you want to bridge an NFT, you have to pay a bridging fee as the end user, not the collection. And for smaller creators who do not want to spend that in their own contract, what we are planning to do is have like a generic contract that we will configure. You will use, let's say, the public bridge. You will not go on your private bridge. You can use the public bridge, and you land your NFTs in a NeftyBlocks collection. And there we track everything and share with you the secondary market fees when there are sales on the other side.
So this 500 Nefty fee, that is, how much is that for a user if they have no Nefty but want to bridge an NFT over? How much is that in dollars or in WAX?
I think at the moment it should be around 100 WAX or something like that. To be honest, we said this price was okay. Let's try it and see what happens, because we don't really know what should be the price for bridging. But the first collections that will be open for bridging is one is Alpaca Words, which is our own, and we want to test with our own before opening it for everybody. And we are only allowing to bridge one of one NFTs. And mint ones. If you have mint 253, we don't allow you to bridge that. It doesn't mean that it's not possible. It's only these are only the rules that we set for our own collection.
Okay.
So what we think is that it should feel like exclusive, that you are bridging to other chains, and we don't want this to be move everything away. Well, in the end, if it's Ethereum, you will still have the high minting fees on the other side, which have to be paid by the person who's minting. But if you go to Polygon, for example, you could move all of your NFTs, and the fee will not be that high. So yeah.
So for this, the fee that is the bridging, is that covering the gas cost, or is there?
No, that's only, let's say, that's the tax you pay to use the bridge.
Okay, and then for a user, hey, I have this NFT, and say it's Alien Worlds, and it's one of the Alien World lands, and I want to bridge this over to that collections. Not saying that they are part of the bridge now, but for an example, and I want to move that to, then I have to pay the fee to have it moved, and then I have a minting fee to claim it on Ethereum or Polygon or whatever.
Yes. Yeah, that's exactly how it works.
And then it can be used there and traded as anyone wants on that platform.
Yes. Yeah, that's the idea.
Yeah, so you have an Oracle service, you have 2 contracts, one on each blockchain. Well, on WAX, everyone used atomic asset contract. You don't have your own. But on the EVM blockchains, you have your own contract. And then you have a generic one to help smaller creators to avoid the big fees and everything.
Yeah, but we do have a contract on the WAX side and also on the Ethereum side, which are ours besides the collection contract, because we have to get the custody of the NFT that are breached.
Yeah.
So when you move your NFT, it will be there in custody. The contract will have it, and the same will happen on the other side once you move it or when you are breaching back and forth.
Yeah, so it's similar to most token bridges and how they work.
Yeah.
So that's cool. Do you have collections already interesting and working on this after Alpaca that will be on this?
Well, at the moment, we only have Alpaca Awards, and we have something coming up very soon with also with NeftyBlocks. We have that's a completely different product that we could spend hours talking about that, but we are working on a very different version of the blends, and we have dynamic blends with images that can be generated on the fly, and also thank you IBM HyperProtect signed and everything, and minted and not minted but modifying the image of the NFT, but we will discuss that in a different one. But those ones will also be bridgeable to Ethereum.
So that is some kind of NFT using the mutable data, I guess.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Cool. Yeah, because I think how they do dynamic NFTs on EVM chains is usually that they have a link to a place, and then they edit the image on that link to make it dynamic. On WAX atomic assets and simple assets, you have this mutable where you can actually change the link completely, which is better, way better.
Yeah, and that's what happens when we breach an NFT. We take all the attributes from the atomic assets NFT, and we convert that to metadata and upload it to an IPFS server so that the metadata of the breach NFT is there, and we handle it that way. And what is also very cool about the breach is, for example, if you change something on the Ethereum side and you breach back your NFT to WAX, when we breach it back, we update the attributes so that they have the values that were modified on Ethereum, and vice versa. So you can start moving back and forth. For example, you could have a collection that starts on WAX, goes to Ethereum, you sell there for a bigger price. The new owner wants to come back to WAX and maybe go and participate in some blends or whatever. Then attributes will be changed, and when he goes back to Ethereum, everything is updated, and his Ethereum NFT will have all the new metadata available.
Yeah, so on WAX, that's you're updating the mutable data, just to clarify that.
Yes.
Anyone, so they are not confused.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's very cool. And do you have an estimation on when this is actually going live?
I would say that by latest next week. Next week is everything. Right now, I'm in the mode, guys, we have to clean the table. That's my first thing I say every morning during our daily meetings. Guys, we need to clean the table. Because we had the shop, we had the redeemables, we had the breach, the collection pages that are. We've been working on this for a while and haven't released. So right now we're releasing everything as fast as we can.
Yeah, that's cool. I just had a question that I didn't think of. If I have a collection on Ethereum and I want to go to WAX, how do I make that direction? And how do I, if I have an NFT on WAX to Ethereum, for example, I have the fee of Nefty on WAX. How do I do that on the way back?
Yeah, on the way back, there is no fee at the moment. But the way that the bridge is built right now, the collection has to be created first on WAX and then on Ethereum. If your collection already exists on Ethereum and you want to use WAX as a layer 2, just reach out, because we are working on that part of the solution also, but it's not ready yet. And basically what happens is that when we bridge the NFT, the token ID on Ethereum is the asset ID on WAX, and that's how we link the NFTs on both ends. But when you start on WAX, there's no asset ID on Ethereum, and the asset ID on WAX when you start on Ethereum, and that asset ID can, if I'm not wrong, cannot be created from something that comes out. So that's what we are figuring out how to solve.
Yeah. On WAX you can't choose the asset ID. It's
exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, interesting. It will be interesting to see a layer 2 solution there for those interesting, and also because this bridge sounds like it's designed for the more high value NFTs, or for collection that want to try to do something different and reach something different. One question I have though, we have this 500 Nefty for a bridge. If I am a collection owner and I launch my contract on Ethereum and I want to bridge over a bunch of NFTs at once, is there a discount if I say do 5 or 10 or 50 or 100 NFTs? Is there some kind of discount somewhere?
Not at the moment, but we have to come up with that. I think this is once again the same. This is the first version. We have to learn together with the community and see how to what is the fair price and the right pricing mechanism to do this. Yeah.
And it's a locked amount of Nefty. It's not locked to some other currency or crypto or anything.
No, it's an amount of Nefty. We just want to have more use cases for the Nefty token available.
Yeah, that's cool. And how can users get Nefty? Let's go into that as well, because we haven't mentioned it.
Oh, they should go to TacoSwap. That's the way to go.
Oh, that's the way to go.
Yes.
Of course.
So that's how you swap for it, but I heard that you can earn it, right?
Oh, yes, absolutely. You can, just by trading on NeftyBlocks, you are already earning Nefty. This is something that from this morning's daily meeting with our developers, I asked one of our developers to start working on a widget that will tell you, if you go to NeftyBlocks, something will pop up there and it will say, if you would have traded on NeftyBlocks instead of trading on the marketplaces where you trade, you would have earned this amount of Nefty in the last 7 days. So we also want to make people more aware of that.
Yeah, I think that's a good approach. It is giving the information and leaving the choice open. I think that's
exactly.
That's very nice.
Exactly. Everybody's free to do whatever they want, but you should also be aware of what you're missing on with the choices you make.
Yeah, that's cool. And so if I am a user, I can earn Nefty from using the platform. And if I am a collection owner, can I earn Nefty somehow also?
Yes, of course, because when you're a collection owner, you will be earning WAX, because you stake your Nefty to get access to the premium tools, but in return you get WAX from the secondary market fees. And there it's also a little bit the same. If as a creator, a collection owner, you help us promoting the NeftyBlocks marketplace and bring more users to NeftyBlocks, you will be receiving back more WAX because of the trading fees. The more volume we have, the more WAX you will get back from the secondary market.
Yeah, that's very nice.
And additionally, we have, for those who are not really active traders and are not really buying and selling NFTs all the time, or are not creators, but they still like earning some yield on their assets, they can provide liquidity on the WAX Nefty swap pool, and there they can get a very interesting APY, and they can claim rewards hourly to provide for providing liquidity.
Yeah, that's cool. I think I have a collection registered on Polygon, which I never used. So perhaps I should use that somehow. Let's see.
Cool.
Yeah, cool.
Did you start out on Polygon, or what happened?
No, I created one to have it, and I intended to use it for a special occasion, but it never happened. I also did it on Solana, and I wanted to use that for a special occasion. Like if I go to a meetup that is organized around Solana or focused on Solana, then why not have a few special NFTs on that platform as well? So it's mostly there, and also about learning and exploring platforms and seeing more about not just reading but actually doing and seeing how it actually works and feels, and all the steps and all the tools required, and where you find them, how you use them. I as a person learn more by doing than just reading, so I always want to do things and try it out and see what I can learn. So that was the plan, and that's why if I find a new NFT blockchain or project or marketplace, I usually go create an account and I go send over a small amount of money, and I try to go and explore it and see how it feels and everything. It's the fastest way to learn, in my opinion.
Yeah, definitely agree.
So we have mentioned a lot of updates that has been coming, and that is also on the way very soon. Is there anything else that we should drop and share before we call this a day for now?
Well, I think that the only thing that we want to share is that the NeftyQuest Season 2 is also starting very soon. As I said, getting everything, cleaning the table, getting everything out. So we will have a Session 2 of the NeftyQuest. It will start early in November. It will be a completely different mechanic from what we had in the Session 1. And we will be sharing the details with everybody in the upcoming days.
What is the NeftyQuest?
Well, basically, the original NeftyQuest was a trading competition where you were able to earn prizes because of your activity on NeftyBlocks. And now we are changing it a bit, and it will be more oriented to reward you for participating on NeftyBlocks and coming back every day. But there will also be a lot of interesting prizes and also different mechanics, because we have like the baseline mechanics that will be introduced initially, but as time goes by, we will start adding different special quests in the middle, so that people has to go and collect things from one creator or other creator, and several different activities.
Yeah, that's cool. So yeah, that's good, because you said the NeftyQuest, but I think a lot of people might not have actually realized exactly what it is. It's obvious for you, but perhaps not for everyone. I've seen it around. I was participating in the start, and then I forgot about it as most things. So I will keep track on the Season 2 of the quest and see the details and everything when it's released. I like to have the final details of things before I start to break it down in my head, because things change and adapt.
Oh yes, definitely.
So that's cool. And I think that we can call it a day for now. And I think that it was very nice to have you on and share all the things you are building and releasing for people. You're really helping creators on the WAX blockchain, and soon on more blockchains, so the NFT space at large, to make their life easier and to explore what NFTs are and can be. So that's very nice. So thank you for doing that job, and thank you for coming on.
Thank you very much for having us, Anders. It's always great.
And
Yeah,
thanks
thank you
everyone
very
for
much.
watching. Hit that subscribe button, like, and everything, and go to NeftyBlocks, the links below, and find their Discord, Twitter, website, and everything, and you know where to find more. I will also link their embedded marketplace below. I have not done that yet, but when you hear this on a review, you will find it there. So, peace.
A Bitcoin bull is all I got left. Sold my clothes, gold no less. Walls are circling, hollow hands. This man's stronger